drug me to a Renaissance fair. I can tell you this, after an hour of being there, I now know why Romeo and Juliet killed themselves.
Once again, 100.5 Jack FM presents the Picture Book Interview with Chad the Intern.
It's Chad the Intern here. I'm about ready to call Bill Cosby, the legend Bill Cosby, and I have to tell you, I'm a tad nervous. In fact, I may vomit halfway through the interview. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. All right, here we go.
What is it now?
Is this Mr. Bill Cosby?
In person.
Hey, it's Chad the Intern, Jack FM, Las Vegas.
Watch your mouth.
How are you today, sir?
I'm pretty good, Doctor.
Coming to the Treasure Island November 27th. You have two shows. It's one night only, 7:30 and 10. And the phone number to get tickets is 894-7723. The last time you were in Las Vegas was when?
I have no idea. Maybe 4 months ago. I know the attendance wasn't that great.
No. Well, the economy's tough. I'm sure there's no reflection on you, sir.
Well, it may be a reflection. I mean, the boss hired me to draw him in so he could rob them, and they didn't show up.
Well, first I want to congratulate you.
That ought to be a funny. My first time playing Las Vegas, I played the Flamingo. Fellow by the name Trini Lopez.
Yeah, Trini Lopez, absolutely.
Had a hit song, If I Had a Hammer. And that's the first line I heard from a pit boss, because I was coming to work and every show was sold out. In those days, a big room was something that held 300 people, and we did dinner and then an 11 or a midnight show. I don't know what, because people used to say to the comedians, "I know that the midnight show is going to be a little raunchier, isn't it?" And I was coming to work, passed by this pit boss who was coming off, and I said, "How's everything going?" He said, "Just fine, Bill. You keep drawing them in, and we'll keep robbing them." And then the next great Las Vegas line from a pit boss was Jimmy Newman at the International Hilton. And I came in the day before my opening. Johnny Cash was in his closing night, and the International Hilton held 2,000 people, both shows. Well, wait a minute, maybe not. Maybe because they had dinner shows in those days, so I don't know. But anyway, he sold out every single inch of the showroom. So I came in, went up to the room, came down, and the casino boss, Jimmy Newman, is there. I said, "Jimmy, how's business?" He said, "Let me tell you something, Bill." He said, "It's sold out every show, Johnny Cash." And in those days, Johnny decided to do the gospel songs, you know.
Right.
He says, Johnny Cash's people come in, and they bring two things with them. They bring a $10 bill and the 10 Commandments, and they don't break either one of them.
Yeah, it doesn't work for Vegas when you don't spend any money.
No. Onward Christian soldiers marching out the casino.
So, in those days, did you follow Johnny Cash, or how did that work?
Well, Johnny closed on a Wednesday, and I opened on a Thursday.
Oh, okay, different nights. It wasn't after his show.
Well, right.
Oh, okay. Those are the good old days, huh?
I don't know if it was good or not. I know Vegas went through one period. They were going through corporate changes. I remember I worked at Howard Hughes Hotel, and everybody kept saying, "Well, you know, Howard Hughes, you never see him." I said, "I don't care. I never saw Santa Claus. I got a lot of good presents." But the Strip, in those days, you could get off at the airport. This is in the 60s.
Right.
You could get off at the airport. You could see the place you were going to.
Right.
And now, I mean, it just looks like, wow,
yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And everything is really built for wowing the customers. Everything is, I mean, bigger than and more than. And even with sound, it's anti-sleep.
Well, sometimes you get off, and you if you've never been here before, and you don't know where you're at. You have an Eiffel Tower here. We have a pyramid here. I mean, it looks like a different world here.
Well, of course it is. And the thing that I think they finally settled on because they let go of the stars, and then we had a problem with rock music. When rock music came, the youth began to go to these stadiums, and the radio stations played, and there was almost like underground. A group would come up, and they didn't even get airplay yet, but they were selling out baseball stadiums in other cities. And Las Vegas sat with the great Sammy Davises and Frank Sinatras and Tony Orlando and people like that, who gave shows. And it wasn't the music of the Grateful Dead or anything like that. So that all of that came in that time never played Vegas because the rooms are too small. Number two, these people are taking out in one night what would be a horrendous salary for somebody all week.
Right.
So it was just kind of a disaster for the people trying to draw people in. Boxing was doing it, and they even had your auto racing. So Las Vegas was scrambling. It was like a juggler, throwing up stuff in the air, and somebody's pulling on them from the back saying, listen, can you point the way to the men's room? They just had problems. And then, of course, when they decided, well, we're going to make cuts, and the cuts came, and gamblers had to work harder to get a free ride out and what they called a free dinner, but you were actually paying for it, but things made you feel good. So the whole thing of the star was gone, and they tried some stars. I remember playing the Aladdin when it was on its knees, really. Mm-hmm. It was just horrible. I remember Mrs. Cosby and I, because the maintenance of the hotel was so bad, Mrs. Cosby and I literally washing the windows so that we could see out better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are tough days there, huh?
Very, very, very much so. And when maintenance starts to go, the thing that begins to collect is dirt and odors and things like that. So we went into the showroom, and there they were, what used to be great grand showroom with a band and or orchestra and lively things, and people now sitting down for drinks, and there's these packed peanuts and fried pieces of bread. My wife says, it's time for you to think of some more Twitters.